Micah Hudson, former five-star wide receiver, committed to Texas Tech, played a season at Texas Tech, has I think 8 or 9 catches for not very many yards. Then he transfers to Texas Tech, and Micah Hudson was famous for this alleged NIL deal, which I'll go down and read the alleged NIL deal here. $700K minimum wirefront up front for 1 year, separate NIL deal for 3 cars for family members, personal driver with Cadillac SUV for Micah to drive from spring practice through the end of the season, medical time off, and playing after injury determined only by Micah and his family. Family, hotel, and travel arrangements paid each game with up to 10 members to have travel tickets and costs paid for. All this goes out of the window. Micah Hudson is transferred back to Texas Tech, and he goes back to Joey McGuire and Texas Tech, who seem to be having a pretty successful offseason and transfer portal recruiting class here. Pete, what are your thoughts on the situation? Micah Hudson going back to Texas Tech shortly after leaving here, just 3 months later.
Hey, first, no one's going to give it to you if you don't ask. So ask for it. Maybe in this world, go give it a shot. Maybe they'll do all this stuff for a couple of them. Like, fine, give it. Go for it. I kind of treat some players like Hudson. I deal with recruiting. I never really liked it that much because it's a lot of hoo-ha and there's a lot of time spent over guys who aren't going to pan out. A little bit of the same with the transfer portal, because remember, for all the thousands of guys in the transfer portal, only a few actually get money or actually transfer or leave to go somewhere else and end up signing for somewhere else. So it really is kind of a hit or miss. We only focus on these top guys. There are a slew of other guys who are thinking, well, I'm never going to play for, XYZ state, so I'm going to go in the portal so someone else will take me. I kind of see it more as the bigger picture. Where's the momentum? And that's kind of with me. I don't care if, Johnny 5-star, the recruit signs with, Texas A&M or Washington or USC. But if those schools get 4 or 5 of them, okay, now you're seeing kind of a thing, because one guy's probably not going to make it. But out of the 4 or 5 guys, 2 or 3 are going to make it. That's what Georgia and Alabama, Ohio State do every year, is that, the top of the top guys don't always pan out, but those 4th and 5th guys, sometimes do. So in case of Texas Tech, all right, maybe this works, maybe it doesn't. But you can see they've got a lot of guys coming in. You can see that out of all the recruits, they're boosting up the talent level. They're boosting up the options. There might not be any one guy who's going to be the guy, because there's pretty set of quarterback as is. But all you're doing is you're boosting up the overall base of players to choose from, and you're just making it a better overall program. And so you can kind of see some schools have a little more money to blow around than other schools. And that's where usually the Power 4 conference teams are a lot better. And even there, some just don't want to buy in and pay for these guys because the payoff isn't there. Basketball, it's a bigger deal. Basketball, you get one guy and you change around your program. Yeah, maybe not for Rutgers, it's 2 NBA, top 5 picks, and they didn't do anything. But for the most part, if you get that's why I can tell from page views and clicks and stuff, the basketball transfer portal is a bigger, giant deal, because again, 1 or 2 guys, you go from mid-level to Elite 8 contender. Football, it's really finding pieces of the puzzle to fit in. So for Texas Tech, it's not just about the individual here. It's about that they've gotten a bunch of guys coming in, because those Texas guys down there, they want to compete with the guys that are getting giving them a hard time at A&M and Texas, all those other Texas schools, and they're putting out the money for it. So you asked before about the positive about NIL. Well, in the normal world, Texas Tech doesn't compete with any of these other schools on the highest level. NIL, if you can get the guys and you pay for them and someone else does it, you can make yourself better pretty fast.
Yeah, and in Texas Tech's case, I think that's what they're trying to do, at least with Joey McGuire there as their head coach. They recently retained their general manager, who I know Notre Dame was trying to go after. You see more teams across college football like to bring in a general manager to kind of oversee it's a new term for director of football ops. Texas Tech retains their general manager, their booster, the top guy in their NIL sold his oil company for I think $4 billion or something. There's definitely money rolling into
go throw it around. I think Texas Tech, by the way, I think there's a crazy fun stat. I'm going to get this wrong, but I think they've only had like one 10-win season in their history.
Really?
I've got this right here. I know it's a crazy stat. I was just looking other stuff up. I'll do this. This is good podcasting, by the way. I'm going to look up research on the fly here. I think they had actually, I lied. They have not. They had a bunch. They had 6, but they were all like in 1953, 1938, 1932. They've only had one 10-win season since 1976. And that was the one giant year under Mike Leach. So we always think of these programs. So to do this on the fly, I'm doing this for another article. But we always think of a lot of these programs as these monster college football programs. A lot of them don't win like you think they do. And Texas Tech is one of them. And if you can buy your way to an extra win or two, and all of a sudden, we know how this works now in the expanded era. If you can just do something a little bit extra, you can get in there and make the college football playoff.
Definitely. Well said.